Hi there, this is Jacob Baugh, Jacob's Ladder with Team Cardhoarder, and this week we're going to be working with a new fun format that came out a few months back. It's called Frontier, and it's just something we wanted to try out, and it looked kind of cool. So this is my first delve at a deck in this format. I don't know much about the metagame. I read a little bit about it, but it's just some cards I like to play with before, and I wanted to try a Court of Calling Evolution deck and see how this stuff works out. I have a few of the elements from the reality deck in the past, but I am only splashing white very lightly to make my fetch lands work, actually. So I was originally just a bug deck when I started building this. Then I realized I was going to have to play white sources in my deck anyways, just to make my fetch lands get the appropriate colors. So basically for Flooded Strand to be able to get a green source, it has to get Canopy Vista, and to get a black source, it needs Sunken Hollow. So that's the only way you could get a tricolored fetch land in this deck. So I had to be a little bit creative. I could be playing the red-green ones to do that as well, but I ended up deciding I actually wanted to splash some white cards in Selfless Spirit and Reflector Mage, and some other sideboard cards as well. So that was the decision I went down this road for. But basically, it's just an Elvish Mystic deck, casting efficient creatures on curve, and has basically a nice one-of-chord package. You can evolution also. Hornet Queen was always great in the formats where you could cast it, and this deck does a pretty good job of casting it. And it has I have a Sidisi as well that I can chord for or evolution for to help find these cool one-ofs that I have. I have a Cryptothrites and an evolution. I'm not sure how they're going to be, but it's definitely something I found interesting that you could never do in the past, so I wanted to experiment with it. I'm not sure if this Husk and Cutthroat are even needed in this style of deck, or this Liliana as well, but the idea of finding Planeswalkers off of your Evolution or Chord was pretty appealing to me, so I ended up including those cards. Since Liliana needs sack outlets to basically work, other than Exploit works somewhat, but Husk works obviously better. Does work with Selfless Spirit as well, but it's potential that these are just not needed. We'll find out in the games for sure. But other than that, pretty much got a nice bunch of different one-ofs and a bunch of stuff to cater for. I wanted to fit more trackers, but I couldn't find room for them. So this is basically the main deck. Wanted to try this card out as well. I had a lot of success with it in Standard, actually, but it seems a lot more busted in this format. So I wanted to see if it does anything. Basically makes voice tokens for 5 mana, and just is a early creature you can play that works well with Cryptothrites. So I wanted to give it a shot. It's probably not worth playing, but it's just an experiment, so just trying out a bunch of different random stuff, see how it works. I'm not even sure if Jace is good in this deck, because I only have Chords and Evolutions. And Evolution exiles itself, so it's kind of weird in that regard. Then we have some Sifters, and a Singleton Reflector, and a Clever Impersonator to make more Planeswalkers off of our Chords that are our opponent's Planeswalkers, which is definitely sweet. Alright, in the sideboard, I don't really know what I need to prioritize in my board right now, so I just put some Dispels, some Murderous Cuts, some Duresses, some Siege Rhinos in case I want to make a transformative sideboard or something like that, Anafinza, additional Selfless Spirits for sweepers, some Reclamation Sages I can search for, and an Ishkana. Delirium isn't the easiest thing to do in this deck, but it's definitely possible. So I decided to throw this guy in my sideboard, especially in the post-board games where I'm trying to get super grindy. I'm going to board in something like Cut, Duress, or Dispel. It's pretty reasonable to actually Delirium this thing. So, and let's see how it works. Let's get to the games.